Finding your purpose in life. Finding your purpose in life can be a long and difficult, meaningful and fulfilling. The first step to meaningful is what you can start to explore different paths that align with to be grandiose. What are your values? What are your passions? What are the things that make you come alive? Once you've answered these questions, you can start to explore different paths that align with. What matters is that it's meaningful and fulfilling to you to be grandiose and passionate. But the journey towards finding your purpose doesn't end there. It's a continuous journey of growth, learning, and adaptation. Your purpose is meaningful and fulfilling to you. In closing, I want to encourage you to take the time to explore your why and to find your purpose. We're still here on the old cliches of the 30s, right? To be enthusiastic, you must act enthusiastic. But see, that's not going to help. After you have leaped about, there are some things you got to do, or it isn't going to change. See this. It's simple. You'll know it when you feel it. You'll feel a sense of joy, fulfillment, and alignment with your values and passions. But the journey is called over. That's it. Get excited over your ability to make yourself do the necessary things. What could you make yourself do starting tomorrow that would change it all? No telling. Now, see, that's exciting. On any given day, change the direction of your life. Murder is a clear example that any one person on any given day can forever alter the course of their life. And adaptation. Your purpose might evolve and change over time, and that's okay. What matters is that you keep moving forward towards what's meaningful and fulfilling to you. In closing, I want to encourage you to take the time. It just happens to be act after you. The guy finally takes a shotgun to his car and blows 100 rounds in this shabby old thing. And he says, nobody else will ever drive it again. See, excitement is called discipline. Major step to human progress. Discipline. If my life changes. Now, who can do that? Anybody. When can you do it? Whatever day you pick. Now, here's the key to discipline. Start with the little disciplines. Get excited over the little disciplines. And get right on those, because those will lead to the big ones. You can't handle the big challenges in life unless you take on the little ones. Make a list of all the things you can do. Get right on those. Discipline yourself for those. Both for the results and for the muscle and for the practice. So that when life hands you some big challenges, you'll be ready. You'll have the muscle. But see, if you don't handle the small ones over, that's it. Get excited over your ability to make motivation. Key phrase, self-motivation. Make yourself do starting tomorrow that would change it all. No telling. Now, see, that's exciting. On any given day, you can massively change the direction of your life. Murder is a clear example that any one person on any given day can forever alter the course of their life. It just happens to be, can't change people, they can change themselves, but you can't change them. Lord knows some I've tried. But see, it won't work. People have to change themselves. I learned some of those lessons early. I built a little sales organization way back in those early days. I'm 25. And I had some nice people. I said, I'm going to make these people successful if it kills me. I almost died. Right? I mean, you can't do that. See, I discovered this. Good people are not trained. They're found. You find good people. You don't make them good. You find them good. Training really is for the purpose of finding good people. You don't need much instruction for a good person. Act and forever alter your life. Whenever you wish. Now that's exciting. And whatever that. Too much training in management. Lesson 1. Don't send your ducks to Eagle School. Because it won't help. I mean, it's a little eagle hat. I'm telling you, it won't help. It won't help. 100 rounds in this shabby old thing. And he says, you say, no, no, no. Anyway, So it takes self-motivation to really alter your life. And you don't want to give self-motivation away to somebody else and make it somebody else motivated. Nobody else will ever drive it again. And he lets that shuddering on. What if they don't show up? Right? See, you got to have a better plan for your life. Okay. My life changes. Now, who can do that? Anybody. When can you do it? Whatever the little disciplines. And get right on those, because those will lead to the big ones. Lifestyle, everything can change. Here's the steps. Number one, find out how things work. First key to doing better is find and do. Need ideas. There isn't anything an idea can't change. But see, if you don't handle the small one, I said to Mr. Shope, I don't have any money. He said, that's not a problem. Now see, up until then, I always thought it was. Right? I was confused. He said, no, the problem is lack of an idea on how to create money and wealth. The idea of finding out. Now, Shope also said, when you find out something that works, motivation. Key phrase, self-motivation. I don't know why we call it for a filing cabinet. Put it in your journal so that you can do the next best thing. Repetition, repetition, repetition. If you repeat it, go over it, sure enough, someday, some mysterious day, the idea takes root, starts to grow, and shows up in your bank account, and your dress, and your personality, and your lifestyle. Can't change people, they can change themselves, but you can't change. Wealthy, study wealth. Don't leave it to chance early. I built a little sales organization way back in those early. See, that won't do it. Make phrase. And we'll have several of these qualifying phrases throughout the seminar. Here's the first one. You find good people. You don't make them good, you find them good. You may not be able to do all you find out, but you should find out all you can do. See, you don't want to wind up at the end of your life and discover that you've lived only 1/10 of it. And the other 9/10 went down the drain. Too much training probably means you got the wrong. And find out how things work. Now here's the best human virtue for finding out. Curiosity. Make a note of that. Curiosity. Be curious. You might add a word to it that'll imagine. They'll drive you to the brink. It's a virtue. You can become like little children. You might as well forget it. You don't have a prayer. It's a little eagle hat child. Number one, have faith like a child. Adults are too skeptical. And fourth is trust. Trust is a childish virtue, but the rewards are incredible. So be like a child. Now, if you're curious, you say, no. Anyway, so it takes self-motivation, any life direction, any dimension. Here's 3 ways to find out how to change anything. And you don't want to get on. What if they don't show up? Right? See, you got to have a better plan for your life. Okay. Now, if you're excited and you're ready to change, let me give you 3 steps to start life change that can change your life, your personality, your lifestyle, everything can change. Here's the steps. Number 1, find out how things work. Reader. Need ideas. There isn't anything an idea can't change. And Shope taught me the major problem. I said to him, read. Become a good reader. Of an idea on how to create money and wealth. It isn't lack of money, it's lack of ideas. So if you get the ideas, see, you can change anything. Now, to get ideas, you need a constant study of finding out. Now, Shope also said, when you find out something that works, put the information in your journal. Don't use your head for a filing cabinet. Put it in your journal so that you can do the next best thing. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Go over it. And if you repeat it, go over it, sure enough, someday, some mysterious day, the idea takes root, starts to grow, and shows up in your bank account, and your dress, and your personality, and your lifestyle. But capture the ideas in your journal. Find out how things work. Shope gave me this word for my life change. He said, study. Wealthy, study wealth. Don't leave it to chance. Make it a study. Some people just go through the day with their fingers crossed. But another way to learn is from other people's phrase. And we'll have several of these qualifying phrases throughout the seminar. Here's the first one. You read. You know, there's books on that. Hundreds, and find out how things work. Help. Childish, curious. By the time you struggle home, it's late. You got they'll drive you to the brink on his car payment. Good work can become like little children. You might as well forget and work hard. Otherwise, child. Number one, leader. The whole world is governed by laws. Mathematical laws. There's physical spinning. Any life direction, we're here, so you got to learn it. And we should learn the setup for two basic reasons. Number one, to keep from getting hurt. It's one of the major reasons for learning, so you won't get hurt. See, economically, socially, personally, you can get hurt just not knowing. Ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is poverty. Ignorance is tragedy. You gotta know, or you're gonna get hurt. It's good to know not to walk out the 10-story window. That's excellent information. Now, what if a guy didn't know and he walks out? Now he's dead at the bottom. Somebody says, well, the poor guy didn't know. You gotta know, or you're gonna get hurt. Now, here's a parenthesis. You don't have to like the setup. I don't ask you to like how it is. That's not what's important. But it is important to learn how it is. Okay? So you don't have to like it, but you should learn it. That's what I tell the kids, right? Make sure you get the information. What you think about it, that's up to you. What you're going to do with it, that'll soon be up to you. But make sure you get it. See, there's nothing worse than being stupid. Nothing. I mean, being broke is bad, but being stupid is awful. And what's really bad is being broken stupid, right? That's about the end of the world. I mean, there isn't anything much worse than that. Unless you're sick. Sick, broken, stupid. I mean, that is it, right? There's nowhere else to go. So make sure you get the information. It's key. You don't have to like it, but learn it. If this big monstrous thing lifts up in the sky, hangs there for a little while, cuts loose, comes crashing down, boom, shakes the ground for 5 miles. And then this big monstrous thing lifts back up in the sky, hangs there for a little while, cuts loose again, comes crashing down, boom, shakes the ground for 5 miles. It just keeps doing it, this big monstrous thing. Lifting up, and then crashing down, boom. Now, you might come along one day and say, that's got to be a stupid arrangement, which is okay. You're entitled to your opinion. But the first thing you should learn to do is get out from under it, right? That's number one. You might have a great moral argument. You might want to shake your finger at the sky, but do it from over there, right? So you don't get smashed. It's called your basic smart. So number one, learn so you won't get hurt. Whether you like it or not, learn. Now here's the second reason for learning, the setup, to benefit. It's called the plus of life. And that's what life is, right? Both minus and plus. The minus is tragedy, heartache, misery, failure, unhappiness. But life is also happiness, prosperity, good feelings. So here's the key. Learn to get on the good side of the way things work. Now here's two of the basic laws, and we'll take our break. Shof taught me these. They come from the Bible. Now again, I'm an amateur, okay, when it comes to the... Bible. I'm not a pro. So you'll sort of have to take my way of putting it. But here they are. The first one is the law of use. The law of use. And it goes something like this. Whatever you don't use, you lose. Lack of use causes loss. On this planet, Maybe not the next one, but on this one. If you tie your arm to your body, leave it there long enough, you'll never use it again. It's over for the arm. Now, it may not be over, but it's over for the arm. The only way to keep the use of this arm is what? Keep using it. If you quit, you lose automatically. You lose automatically when you quit. Now, the same thing that goes for your arm goes for your brain, mentality. The same thing goes for all the human virtues. Ambition, unused, declines. Strong feelings, unused, diminish. It doesn't grow, it diminishes. Faith, unused, decreases. It's a law. Vitality, unused, diminishes. Energy, unused, decreases. The guy says, well, I'm going to save up my energy. You can't do that. That's like trying to save today, put it on the end of the year. See, you can't do that. They'll come take you away. If you don't use today, what? It's lost. The guy says, well, I'll work twice as hard tomorrow to make up for it. See, that's foolish. You could have done that anyway. Today unused is lost. A talent unused is lost. An ability unused is lost. So here's one of the key expressions of the evening. Take a new inventory of yourself. Starting tomorrow, new project. Take a new inventory. And make sure that all of your talent and ability and mentality and ingenuity and vitality and strong feelings, faith, courage. Make sure that all you've got's being used. Otherwise, you lose. Now, one of the best illustrations of the law of use is a Bible story called the Parable of the Talents. The talent story. Interesting story if you haven't read it in a while. Just review it. It's a good story. An ancient story. It says there was a master with 3 servants. He got them together one day, and he said to the 3, I've got these talents. And in those ancient days, a talent was a measure of gold. And he said to the 3 servants, take these talents and see what you can do with them while I'm gone. He said, I'm taking a journey and I'll be gone for a while. When I come back, we'll get together, go over the book, see how you did. He said, here's 5 of these talents for you. 5. Here's 2 of them for you. 2. And here's 1 for you. 1. The master said, take those talents, see what you can do with them. When I come back, we'll get together, we'll go over it all. The servant said, okay, master takes off. According to the ancients, story, the master comes back from his trip. When he gets back, he gets the 3 servants together, and as he said he would, he asks, how did it go with those talents? You're 5. What happened? That servant said, well, I took the 5 talents you gave me and I put them to work. A little shaky at first, but he said things finally got rolling. And he said, I poured it on. And he said, my talents grew to 7, 8, 9, 10. He said, I doubled my talents from 5 to 10. Books will show. Master said, one heck of a job. Or something like that. He said, I gave you 2 talents. What happened? That servant said about the same thing happened to me. I put those 2 talents to work, poured it on. They grew to 3 and then to 4. He said, I doubled my talents from 2 to 4. Books will show. Master said, well done. He said, I gave you 1 talent. What happened? That servant said, well, I took the talents you gave me and I carefully wrapped it and I dug a hole and buried it. And camouflaged it, I suppose, right? So nobody would steal it. And he said, fortunately, nobody got it. And he said, I knew you were going to be here today, so I dug it up. Here it is, safely wrapped. I did not lose it while you were gone. According to the ancient story, the master said, take that talent away from him and give it to the man that's got 10. Now you might say, well, I don't like that arrangement. The poor guy's only got 1 talent. He's already got 10. It ought to be more even. Remember, I didn't ask you to like it. But this one I would ask you to learn. Because it simply means, whatever you do not employ, you forfeit. It's a law. So learn well the law of use. Now here's the second one. Second law from the Bible. This one we've heard since we were small, I'm sure. It's called the law of sowing and reaping. In fact, we've probably heard it so often we could quote it. It says, whatever you sow, what? You shall reap. Fairly blunt, hopefully clear. Here's my first suggestion on the law of sowing and reaping. Don't try to beat it. You might as well try sitting on the sun in the morning. Keep it from coming up. You'll have better luck. Whatever you sow, you reap. Now, for a fair share of my life, I'm a bit mixed up on how all this applies. Among a lot of things I was mixed up on. I knew I wasn't reaping too good. That I understood. My problem was I was confused about what was causing it. Remember me with the funny list? I thought those are the reasons why it isn't working out well. And then Mr. Schoaf gave me the clue that helped me figure it all out. He said, Mr. Rohn, I have another answer for you. There's another way to quote this law that'll show you where the problem is so you can go to work on it right away. All you need to know is where the problem is. Then you can go to work on it. So he quoted me the law another way, and I found out what my problem was. Here's the way you quote the law. Whatever you reap is what you've sown. Now I knew what my problem was. Whatever you reap is what you've sown. If you don't like the crop, who do you look up? Answer, whoever planted it. And where do you find who planted your crop? Answer, in the mirror. What I finally learned to do come fall was to go to the mirror. That's where you go.